All right, hey everybody. So today we have quite a bit of MacBooks to work on. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 00165 boards. So those are MacBook Air 2015 through 2017 boards, and also an iPhone 12 Pro Max for data recovery that's been liquid damaged. So we're gonna put that one off to the side for now. We're gonna work on the MacBooks first. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is from a client that sends just the boards, so we'll have to use our housing to test. And it looks like a lot of these are liquid damage, no power, liquid damage, no power. Tester board battery port damaged, okay, and let's see, this one says tester board no backlight. All right, so we have a few backlights and quite a bit of no powers to go through. So let's go ahead and get started on them. We will, I guess, I don't want to do the easiest one first, which would be the battery connector. That's going to be pretty straightforward. Let's do the one that just says liquid damage, no power. First, and at the initial inspection of the board, it looks pretty clean. I don't see exactly where the liquid hit. I do see just a smidge up on the top here. On the top, let's go look together through the scope. You can see, if you're in focus, let's fix that, there we go. You can see at the top here, right here's some liquid damage, but it didn't hit anything. So that's not going to be your issue. Here's some liquid damage by the JTAG connector. That's not going to be the issue. It didn't hit anything. This is also not hitting anything. So it looks, the liquid damage doesn't look like to be an issue so far. Check the back side of the board where we see it quite often. This is the SPI area that we worked on yesterday. That looks like it didn't get hit at all. Yeah, this board looks pretty clean actually. Let's go ahead and just try to power on, see what we get. We might have to do some diagnostics on this one. Let's see, so first we're gonna need our fan. Good, we'll pop that on here because that's how we tell if it's turning on or not, and then we'll get our I/O board. Let's move this down here so you guys can see. All right, and now we need our ribbon. Where did we put that? Here we go. All right. Okay, so let's see what we get. Nothing, not even a green light. Okay, so hopefully this will be an easier repair. Normally green light repairs are easy to handle. I'm gonna go ahead and put a screw in this fan so I can keep the fan on it while I'm diagnosing and whatnot. You guys can hear me or no? Can somebody tell me that they can or can't hear me? PM sleep S4L. Let's hope not, Wes. If it's a PM sleep issue, I'm going to put this one right in the not doing live stack. PM sleep S4L is one of the worst things to work on because it could literally be anything causing that line to go missing. Thank you for confirming audio, guys. But PM Sleep S4L it could be so many things causing that line to go missing, like a torn tray. I mean, it's just the possibilities are endless, and it's to the point where when that's the issue, I hate them. So looking back, the first thing we're going to do is just remove that JTAG connector. That connector is used for Apple. When you take it to the Apple store and your board doesn't turn on, that's what they use to do some diagnostics, but we don't care about Apple, so we're just going to remove that connector and keep it off because we don't want Apple to be able to know what's wrong with their device. Come on. Break free now. Almost there. There we go. Bam, we don't need that JTAG anymore. And we will go ahead and clean up that area tab. Underneath the J-tag looks kind of nasty though, huh? That may have been our issue. Let's clean this up over here too. Take that away, that away. Okay. Let's go ahead and try to boot it again. See if we got very lucky. Green light. Fan spin. Look how easy this is. You guys aren't doing MacBook repairs? Come on, all I had to do was remove the J-tag connector and clean up a little bit. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and find my housing, because like I mentioned, this is a board-only client, which means he sends only the boards, simply because he goes through so many of these particular boards that it would not make sense for him to send the housing for each one. Alright, so this is mine. And what we're going to do is we're just going to test the basics, make sure it boots, make sure we get Wi-Fi. We might not actually go through the entire diagnostics on live. We'll just do that later. I guess what we'll just check is make sure that it turns on and it sees the SSD and boots, and then we'll go from there. I'll do the final diagnostics later. Alright, so now we need an SSD. Put that in there. And alright, that battery. Alright, so we're going to do this carefully so nothing falls out. Alright, if you guys can see. Okay, so let's see what we got here now. Hopefully we get Apple logo and backlight. There's backlight just kicked on. Apple logo might take a minute, or it might show a question mark depending on the firmware of the board, because I am using my solid state drive, so it might not register the OS, but it should. So let's go ahead and wait, but it will take a minute because it is a different drive to actually show up. Any day now. And it's going to take longer to wait for this to turn on than to fix it. Alright, perfect. There it is. We have Apple logo, and now I'm sure it's going to boot right to the OS. And it did. Perfect. So that one's good. It holds on the battery. And so we are going to assume that's fixed, and we'll do the diagnostic on it later to make sure. Get our SSD back. Alright, and we need our fan. Perfect. We'll put that in the ready stack. Alright, so should put it back in this bag, I guess. Alright, one is done. Perfect. And the next one, backlight blown after repeated use. Discount question mark. No, there will not be a discount. I don't care how backlight blew. That is not my problem. Alright, so visually inspect. This is the backlight circuit over here. This is half the backlight circuit, right? And then we have the other half right here. And it looks like this one has been repaired before by somebody. So now, because they said, normally this repair is a backlight driver damn near every single time on this model. Because what happens is liquid hits the corner of that backlight driver on the bottom side of the board and damages the driver, and then damages normally a pad where you have to lay a jumper. We call that a signature issue, where it happens all the time. So, all right, but since this one, the notes say it was after a screen replacement, I'm guessing it is just a fuse. And we have the sweet sound of silence. Fuse should have continuity across it. It does not, so that is going to be our issue. Let's go ahead and get this fuse replaced. Bam. Get that broken fuse out of there. Turn on our iron. Add some flux. Alright. Get those pads good to go like that. Now we'll grab a donor. I actually do have new fuses for these, but damn, I mean, donor's just right here. Easier to pull off a donor at that point. Come on, break free. There, almost. There we go. Alright, move that donor to the side. And that should be enough flux there to pop this fuse on. Oh, damn. I let go of it too soon. I found it. Luckily. Now we're going to bring her wet. Now we're going to let, probably just add a tad more flux to let surface tension, or to help surface tension. Bam, just like that. Alright, now we're going to clean up our flux, because like we talked about yesterday, if you don't, your board will come back to you with some corrosion on it. Alright, now we'll check again, make sure we have continuity. And we do. Now we're going to make sure it's not short, because that could also be how the fuse blew if one side was short. So this one should be good to go. We'll go ahead and connect our fan and test this one as well. Now this one was no backlight, so I assumed it was turning on beforehand. Although, best not to make assumptions and just start working on something. You should always test it, but I'm fine on this one. Alright, so again, back in the housing. Alright, we'll pop this one in here. The screen is important, obviously. And trackpad and keyboard. Yeah, this one's definitely been worked on before. Some excess flux in the connector. Where did I? Oh, here it is. Here it is. There we go. Alright, battery lastly. Alright, and now we will check for backlights here. And we do get fan spin. So it did turn on, does turn on. Alright, I already see back. Wait, maybe I see backlight. Yep, there it is. Maybe. No! Something caught fire. Something is smoking. Why are you smoking? What happened? What happened here? Oh, shit. That screwed up my screen. That now, I don't know if you can see this, but the MacBook started to smoke, right? And now my screen is broken. Look at that connector. That's fucked. We might be able to fix that. Hold on. Let's just scrape this away, the burnt plastic. Why did that happen? There's definitely going to be some type of short. I don't think my screen's ever going to work again. I think I just lost this screen. But let's try this again. Let's see if it smokes again. It's okay, guys. People that are worried about the smoking MacBook, it will be okay. So I'm going to do it this way just so I can see the smoke immediately if it happens. No smoke yet. That's good. Good sign for no smoke. I have another screen, I'm pretty sure, so we'll be able to test. Okay, so turns on, no smoke. I don't think I have backlight though. Yeah, I don't have backlight. Alright, so because of the smoke, I assume I reblew that fuse. I assume that fuse is going to be gone now. So let's see. Boop. Yeah, fuse is gone again. Okay, so essentially we broke something, or the MacBook is more broken than we think it is, so when we put the fuse in, it dies. So what we're going to do is we are going to lay a jumper over that fuse just to test, to see maybe if there's something else wrong. And if that, instead of getting smoke this time, what will happen is that wire that I'm about to put here will just go away. It will like disintegrate, right? Because it can't handle that much power. So we'll go ahead and just quickly lay this jumper here for testing. Perfect. We'll make sure that our jumper is secure on both sides simply by testing continuity across it. Oh, we still don't have continuity. Somehow I've messed up even the jumper. Okay. Let's try this. Let's make sure it's just... Come on. Where's my solder at? Here we go. There we go. That should be good enough right now. Perfect. Okay. So now we are going to see if we get smoke again. I'm kind of expecting to get smoke. Or that not the smoke, but that fuse just below. Or the wire that we laid. Alright, no smoke or anything like that. That's good. And let's see. So if I have backlight here, what that means is that I essentially just didn't plug in my screen correctly, or I didn't have it seated all the way. But no, still looks like no backlight. Alright, and we'll see if our fuse blew again. Our fuse did blow again. You see how the jumper wire right there in the middle is broken, right, and no continuity. So we do have another type of issue that continues to cause this fuse to blow, right? So what we're gonna do is, before we continue to diagnose the board and can kind of rule out the board, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and lay another jumper on that fuse, okay? And then we're gonna try a different screen, okay? Maybe that screen is bad to the point where it is just now going to break everything that you plug into it. So that could be a possibility. And you guys saw it work not even 3 seconds or 30 seconds ago on another MacBook. So it may have been me that broke it, or this board. Let's see. All right. Pull off the excess wire. You don't need that. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull another screen. I should have several of them. Look, here's one. Give me the screen. Dirty as all get out, so ignore that. Connect this way. And also, because that burnt up in the connector the way, it might be a bad connector now also. So hopefully it's not bad enough to the point to break another screen. That would really suck. That would really suck. Because I don't know how many of these screens I can just burn through and still have a good conscience about. And the guy asked for a discount. You broke my screen, man. Come on now. Discount my ass. Alright, so now what do we get? Now I expect this fan to act like an airplane here because the trackpad isn't plugged in, and when the trackpad's not plugged in, there's a sensor on the trackpad and it thinks the MacBook's on fire, so the fan spins really high. Okay, and it still looks like we have the lack of backlight, right? Just double check the back. Yeah, we have no backlight. Okay, and did the fuse blow again? Let's see. All right, did the fuse blow? Doesn't look like it, but it did. Okay, bad fuse again. So now, I know it's not short. There it goes. See how it's quiet now? Both sides are, neither side is short. Okay, let's check up here. But this is shorted. All right, so if you guys remember from yesterday, how do we determine what component is short, right? It was very easy. We just connected our DC power supply to it, right? Or to our multimeter probes, and we inject voltage. Now this line that is short, it's those big caps there, is a backlight line, backlight outline. So really, you can put up to 50 volts on this. Now we're not going to go that high. No, we're probably going to hang around 3 volts, and we're going to inject. Now let's see which component gets hot. We're only injecting 3 volts. It'd help if we turned on our DC power supply. There we go. Wow, it's Not drawing very much at all. Wow, that's gonna suck. It's only drawing 80 milliamps, so like nothing. Maybe it's because I don't have my voltage high enough. Let's try this. Let's bump this up to like 5 volts, see what we get. There we go. Now we're drawing like 200 milliamps. That should be enough for something to get hot. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our thermal camera again. You can buy the standard macro lens from Jesse Cruz. Not a plug that I'm being paid for anyway. All right, let's see what we get here. Allow. Okay, you guys can see the thermal camera. And let's see if we can get these components in any better of a view. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to inject again. And we're going to inject on the side of this diode because the diode's not going to be the cause of the short. Look at that. It's the connector. Kind of what I suspected earlier. We're going to have to replace that connector. Okay. Alrighty. Time to replace the connector. So, since it's the connector, I think the only thing that was really wrong with this MacBook was the fuse. And I didn't connect the screen properly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think that screen might not have been fully seated. And I was trying to rush. And now I've got to replace the connector because of it. Just a little bit more comfortable for me. There we go. Alright, connector gone, and let's go ahead and remove that fuse as well. Get that out of there. And now we will prep the pads for the connector. And now we're wicking them. We are gonna wick them. Perfect. And now we're gonna hit just the center ones here. We're not gonna go to the outside yet. We'll do that in just a minute and I'll show you why. And these outside pins I want to have very little solder on them. That way they don't get caught up in the connector. So like that amount of solder is good. This is too much over here. So I try to spread that around. There we go. That's not bad. That'll work. And now we're going to clean our flux up. So who thinks I broke this MacBook or they broke it and I just got screwed out of a screen? I definitely could have broken it, that's for sure. Okay, now let's see. And of course our donor doesn't have a connector or the fuse. Let's see, does this one? Yes, this one has both. Perfect. Alright, so let's do the connector first. Now, so you guys may be wondering, how am I removing this partly plastic connector without the plastic melting? Well, it's kind of a trick. If the pads are touching ground, the plastic will not melt unless you're using real high temperatures. Okay, but as soon as you lift off this connector and I keep applying the heat, the plastic will melt. So what I need to do, as soon as that connector is broken free of the pads, I remove the heat immediately. to try to make it just like that, to try to make it so it doesn't melt, and it didn't. It's perfect, right? So now we'll go ahead and take that connector and put it on our board. Let's see. Get it aligned properly. That should be about good right there. And we're gonna just add a drop of flux to the side over here. So I'm attaching the ground pads. I'm trying to anyway. There's one. Let's make that sit a little bit better. Yeah, that's good enough right now. And we'll go to the other side and we'll do the same thing. Right, we'll just add a drop of flux on the other side and go ahead and kind of press this to where we want it. Good enough for right now. Right? So now what we're going to do to get that connector, make sure it's on there properly. You can see that doesn't look good at all right now. That's fine. We're going to fix that. We're going to just add a bit of flux over here on the pins, right? And actually, no, we'll do that in a second. All right. Now we're going to apply heat. So remember, the plastic isn't going to melt because the ground pads are being touched right there, right? So now we can apply heat again. We're going to wait for everything to kind of get melted. Should be quicker this time because we're using not low melt, but a lot low. It's lower melt than what Apple uses. Come on. So now it looks like all sides are. Other than that one. So now what we do is we are going to, if I can stop shaking enough to do this, we're going to hold down on the connector and heat up each side. Right there is good. And we'll do the center here right quick. That's good. I think this side popped off. And now we're going to do the last bit over here. And that's good. So that should be all of the pins. Those look, yep, those look bad right there. Let's fix those. Go back in position. There you go. Maybe add a little bit more flux to it. There we go. They're on there now. So now we'll do my normal drag across the pins. Oh, look, see, that's why we do the drag, because we missed one. That should be good now, maybe. Nope, still not. So there's one pin that's giving us a headache. We could just do this. Just touch it. Bam. Now it's good. All right, we'll do the drag one more time. Make sure none of them move. And they didn't. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and clean up our mess now that we've made with all this flux. Beautiful. All right. Like I never broke it. All right. Now what we'll need to do is go ahead and replace that fuse. Where are we at? Up here. Perfect. Grab that one. There we go. And again, just a touch of flux. Don't need that much. There we go. New fuse. New connector. This one, I have faith, will work fine now. Alright, get all that crap out of there. Okay, next up here before we try to test it again is we're going to make sure that line is still not short so we stop running through fuses. Alright, so let's check again. Good there. And the sweet sound of silence over here. So, it looks like we fixed our issue. Now what we're going to do is test with our new screen, because I think that the old screen is gone. And I don't want to redo this repair to test it right now. Perfect. And we will plug it in. Do we still get fan spin? Did we break you or make you better? Still get fan spin, that's good. And backlight, awesome. Oh, you guys can't see. Not the backlight anyway. The Apple logo is coming any second. You can't see the backlight because camera's not picking it up, but it is there, you'll have to believe me. And just like the other one, it's going to take a minute to turn on because it's got my SSD in it. And it's not the one that normally is in it. So it'll take a second the first time. Any day now, MacBook. We want to move through the queue. It's probably going to take longer because I don't have the trackpad or anything connected. Like I mentioned before, the fan is spinning like it's on fire because the MacBook thinks it's on fire because there's no trackpad plugged in to tell it, hey, you're not on fire. It's okay. Show me the Apple logo or the question mark any day now. I would have expected it by now. I don't know if the screen is bad though. Honestly, it's good enough to tell me I have backlight, but I don't know if it's a good screen or not. To be honest, I just kind of pulled it out somewhere. Okay, this might be a bad screen. Let's see, I've got plenty of them. I think I've got plenty of them. Alright. Where would I put a MacBook screen if I was a MacBook? Oh, right here. Bam. Another one. Let's check this screen. Let's see if it is a bad screen. Move this over here a little bit so you can see the screen. This is the problem when you break one of your screens halfway through doing the queue. You don't know if your second screen is known good or not. So backlight again on this one. And now we will wait for an Apple logo. So the general rule of thumb on these is you get image before backlight, right? Oh, there's Apple logo. So this is a bad screen. Throw that away. So the general rule on these is it's image before backlight, right? So if you have backlight but no image, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be, or 9 times out of 10 it's going to be the screen. It's not going to be the board in that case because the board tells image to turn on before it tells backlight to turn on. Okay, so really it's going to be the screen. That's how I knew right away that nothing else was messed up on that board, that it was just a bad screen more than likely. So now we can take this one into the fixed pile. Where did I put the baggie for it? Right here. There we go. Put the battery over here. And we will go ahead and put this in the pile of things we need to test after the stream. All right, and another liquid damage, no power MacBook. All right, the liquid's pretty severe on this one. Okay, so let's see what we got. I don't know if this one's going to be fixed or not, but let's take a look at it, shall we? So the front of the board looked pretty good, except for right here. That looks pretty gross right there. Not too worried about that. More what I'm worried about is we have this over here that's damaged. I believe that's something with the Wi-Fi right here for Wi-Fi, I believe. And we got over here that's really damaged. Definitely going to need some traces and a new chip there. The SPI area, see, this is also hit, like we talked about yesterday, that kind of gets hit often. This is going to have to be addressed up here. And this is what has me worried, really worried right here. So this is the power good circuit. It sucks when it gets hit here because they're a pain in the ass to diagnose if it doesn't just work. Oh, and look at this over here too is damaged. Oh man, this is a lot. All right. Shit. Do I want to do this right now? I guess we should. All right, so let's start with the easiest of the easy, I guess, which is going to be here in this area. And this is the guy that wanted a discount. You can believe this shit? Look at this. Discount my ass, brother. So now if we fix this one's going to be one that I run like real extensive diagnostics on. You know, I don't only run the Apple's MIR test, I run the full system diagnostics on these, simply because when liquid's like everywhere like that, we want to make sure everything is working properly. That way the client doesn't get it back and like, hey man, it turns on now, yeah, but the Wi-Fi doesn't work. Well, that's embarrassing. So we don't want that to happen. Alright, so those, what, 1, 2, 3 components removed. Okay. Alright, so now let's go ahead and clean that up a little bit. Look, all these pads are pretty much gone. Yeah, that one was brought back to life. Let's see if we can do the same for this one. Bring it back to life. Yeah, I think those pads will be saved. Those pads should be savable. We'll do the same thing we did yesterday, right? We're gonna scrape away. So this pad, you can see half of it's missing. So we may be able to make that work. We may not. We will see here in a minute. All right, now we're gonna check if any of them are shorts. No, not short. Not short, that's good. Now we're just gonna add some solder to it and put a new chip on there. Maybe if it wants to take the solder. Sometimes these can be a pain. Come on, accept it. Take the new solder. Sometimes it's easier with the micro pen so you can kind of scratch at it a little bit better. There we go. That should be good. Add some here, here, and here. Those are gonna be ground because they're not melting as easy. If it doesn't melt as easy, it's because it's ground, and that takes higher temperature because it's ground. It's attached to the entire board. It's a much more of a heat area, or I'm not even sure the right word now that I'm trying to think about it. All right, we'll address this resistor on the side that we took off. Let's see if we can bring this one back to life. Perfect, just like that. All right. Now let's see what this looks like. Alright, that's looking like it's ready for some new components there. Okay, so just check. Let's check this over here, make sure that this is good. See, make sure these have continuity, and they do. Perfect. That is going to be good. Now let's see if this donor has those components on it. Yeah, perfect right there. Okay. Being punished for that one because it was so easy. This one's going to be a pain in the ass. I can already sense it. So I'm going to try to place this a little further back than it normally would be, simply because that half that pad is gone over there. I'm just going to try to have it back here, set back a little bit. Perfect, just like that. Alright, that's on there now. So we need a resistor here and a capacitor here. Alright, no capacitor now. So like I was telling you yesterday, if you are thinking about getting into MacBook repair, I would definitely recommend going on eBay and trying to find these boards damaged and starting with these, because there's very little they can come back from. Unless it's like Wes had said, where it's PMC S4L that's missing. In that case, just throw that MacBook away. There we go. Alright. Next we have this area right here that's definitely going to have to be addressed. Memory serves correctly, this is the Wi-Fi circuit. Yeah, look at that. This pad's right there. Definitely going to need some attention. Alright, good. Now we'll go ahead and clean that up. That should be good enough. And now we wick them. We wick them. Alright, good enough. Look at that. That's going to be good. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I want to take a quick measurement here, make sure there's no trace damage. And that's good. So we'll go ahead and replace that VGA chip. Right here it is. Beautiful. Alright, get rid of this donor. Now we got to do some BGA reballing here. First step here is to go ahead and clean off the old balls. Ooh, not in focus. There we go. Alright, and we'll go ahead and clean them off. Perfect. Alright. Now we will find a stencil for that. So this is an iPhone 6 Plus. Let's see if we have anything that is remotely close to it. Let's see. This might work. No, not spread out enough. No. Oh, there we go. That should work. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Alright. Get it aligned. Just like that. Grab us some paste. I use 183 paste, so that means it melts at 183 Celsius. Or I shouldn't say melts, I should say solidifies, the proper term. Alright, now we're just cleaning up all the extra paste. And we will, about to reball. Turn our temperature down on our heat. I turn it to about 371 when I'm doing reball or BGA work on the on this 183 paste. Dang, I think that ball jumped out and grabbed the other ball. Let's see. Break away. Nope, they're all good. All the balls are good. Perfect. Now we'll go ahead and clean up that so we don't have any solder where we don't want it. Perfect. Place that there. Get this in the right orientation, ready for placement. So now we're going to add hot air. And now that should be good. So now we're just going to add a tiny bit of flux, just like that. Oop. Alright, now watch, this chip's going to fly away because I'm on live. That's what happens when you're on live. Oop. So we bring our hot air pretty high up, right? So we don't have the chip fly away. We're going to kind of let the flux melt a little bit. Bring it up to temperature. And we're going to slowly come down with our hot air. And then once it hits surface tension, now you can come right up close with it. And bam, you see the surface tension working because I'm knocking the chip. And it jumps right back into place. That's surface tension at work. So now let's address this capacitor. Or are we? Are we just going to leave that one off the board? We may. Let's see what happens. Is that a capacitor that may be important? Let's check. Huh. Interesting. It's short on both sides. Let's see what that is. That definitely shouldn't be short. So let's go ahead and jump over to screen. Check out the board view and schematics. There's this one here. What is that? PP3v3S5 is short to ground. Okay. That could be because of the other liquid damage that we see. Let's check. So this is everywhere that's highlighted right now is where PP3v3S5 is. Okay, so let's go ahead and just try to determine where that short's at, because I can promise you that's going to be a major issue. Just like this damage here, that's also going to be a major issue right there. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Is this S5 up here? That's what I want to know. Let's see. That's this cap here. Do I have this backwards? I do. So over here. No, it's not S5. Okay. So, yeah, that looks good. So this is not S5, but that cap looks crap. Is that shorted? My multimeter shut off. No, it's not short. Okay. Alright, so where else is the S5 line that could be short at? Probably up in this area here, near the P-good circuit. No, it doesn't look like there's any S5 there. Let's see. Oh yeah, but here's S5 up here. I bet that's where it's short right there. Let's check. This is going to have to be removed and redone anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. Normally what you would do is you would inject to see what's getting hot, but with visual inspection we can kind of find it. Doesn't look too bad under the chip. Let's see what we have now. Still shorted. Still shorted. All right. Is it short over here too? Make sure we don't have any breaking. No. Okay. Where, oh where could you be short? Oh where are you shorted? See, when these resistors over here get hit like this, that just makes me think that this is all a giant waste of time, to be honest with you. Because when that area gets hit, it sucks. Let's see. Check over here by the SMC. That's all going to have to be replaced down there. Underneath the SMC, that's going to have to be reballed, I bet. Yeah, this one's going to be a lot of work. Let's skip this one for right now. Yeah, this is going to be a lot. Let's put that to the side of things that suck. Alright, this one just says no power but no liquid damage. We'll go back to that other one in a little bit. I'm not giving up on it. I just don't want to waste the entire stream with me doing very straightforward, just replacing liquid damage. Oh, this one's liquid damage too. It just didn't say on the bag. So this one is liquid damaged, but it's not that bad in the sense of, like, you don't see a bunch of corrosion. Like, I think what's going to happen with this one is I'm going to put this one in the ultrasonic cleaner and it will probably just work. I might have to replace this cap. Let's bet. I think I'm just going to have to replace this cap and then it'll be good, right? But I'm gonna clean it. When it looks like that, I kind of took a mental note of where the damage was, and now I'm gonna throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner to get it cleaned up. You'll get to see the difference between before the ultrasonic and after the ultrasonic. But when they look like that, where they don't have like corrosion or very little corrosion, but it's still wet everywhere, it's likely that it's just that area. It needs to be cleaned before it's done. So I'm just going to jump this in the ultrasonic cleaner real quick. I anticipated some liquid damage today, so I already have it turned on and heated up. So I will be right back right after I throw that in. Alright, so that's going to be an easy repair, I believe. We just have to wait for that to go through the ultrasonic. Takes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 minutes. Alright, so here's another one that says liquid damage, no power. Let's see if this one's going to be a nightmare also. Oh, this one should be easy. I barely even see any liquid. I mean, on the fan up here, it's kind of gross to touch. Let me just clean that off real quick. Oh, here, I'm sorry, guys. You can't even see. Yeah, up here, you can see that kind of muck that I just cleaned off the right up in here. I'm not sure what this got hit with, but it is gross. Like a hazard job. Okay, so let's see what's wet and what's not. Alright. Not seeing anything that's a red flag yet. Okay, this is red flags down here. That area here, same capacitor as on that other board. This area here, where's my tweezer so I can point? This area right here looks like it may need addressed a little bit. The SPI looks like it did get hit, but very, very little, so I shouldn't have to do any work over here. This maybe needs to be fixed. Let's see. Visual inspection. Do we see anything else? No. Okay. So it looks like this area right here is going to be kind of our main. I think this is touch or Thunderbolt 2. 3 or whatever it is controller. Let me double check here with that. Let's see. Jump over here, see what this is on this side. Come on, where's my schematics at? There we are. Okay, so search. Let's see what we have. This is the 3P3 HB Power Mux. Okay, yeah, this is going to be important. No, it's Thunderbolt. It's on the Thunderbolt page. So it's not going to be important to boot, but it could be bringing down these lines. Let's check. Let's see if this is short over here. No, not short. And that silence means my ultrasonic just finished on that side. Let me go flip the board. Okay. So it wasn't short right here. This wasn't short, but I don't know if I believe that that's not the issue. All right, I'm going to go ahead and power on, see what we get voltage-wise. See how far into the boot process we're getting. Okay. We will need a fan. Where did I put that fan? I just had it. Oh wait, did I keep it attached to the one that's a pain in the butt? No, that's right here. Oh, right here it is. Okay, perfect. Let's see what we're getting. We get fan spin. So it's actually turning on the way it is, and I haven't done anything yet. So let's see if is it actually turning on? Is it get fan spin and not posting? Let's see. Sometimes what these guys do is they'll send a liquid damage unit that works and just want me to clean it. So that might be the case on this one. We'll see. See, these are the ones that's like, oh, it works, it's just got liquid damage. You could ask for a discount on that, and I would, you know, be more than, I'd be willing to anyway to talk about it, but, yeah, they don't do that. So we don't have anything hooked up to it yet. We're just going to kind of plug it in and see if we get the question mark folder on the screen. If we do, then we'll know this is more than likely just one that he wants cleaned and then sent back to him. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll run the full diagnostics on it later and make sure if it does boot. But I do have backlight, so it's likely it's posting already, so it's going to turn on just fine. So yeah, this is going to be one of those that work fine, that they just want cleaned. Show me the question mark. There it is. Perfect. Okay, this one turns on fine. All right. And we're running right through these. Okay, so this next one is, what did it say? Backlight blown after repeated use discount. Oh, that's the backlight one. Wait, thought I just repaired that one. They had more than one of these. 1 second. Gotta flip that board again. Alright, so this one said backlight blown after multiple uses. So this one likely is just going to be the fuse, hopefully. Let's check the fuse. And the fuse is blown. Okay, so let's check for shorts over here. And we have a dead short over here. Alright, so again, just like the last one, let's see why this is short. Let's go ahead and get our thermal camera out again. Alright, and there we go. Excuse me. Get our DC power supply hooked back up to our probes. And we have it set at 5 volts and like 2 amps to inject. So once again, we are going to, can you see? Yeah, you can see it. We are going to inject on the diode, and it's the connector again. Look at that. 2 connectors today. Imagine that. Is that the connector, or is it right below the connector? Don't want to replace the connector for nothing. Let's do this a little differently. Oh yeah, this is going to be the connector. Like, you can kind of see where it's burnt up there. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and remove this connector off. Can't blame me for this connector anyway. So I'm definitely going to have to hit up the shop that sent these in and let them know that it's a screen that they're using that's damaging these, I bet. I've seen that multiple times where there's a bad screen, or the screen connector's broken, or it had liquid damage on it, and they're, you know, just putting in tester boards to see if the parts are okay, and they're damaging their boards and everything, and they're doing it, but it's actually that screen that's doing it. So it's got to let them know not to plug in that screen, whatever they were using to test these boards with. Oh, time to flip that board over. So now let's take care of this situation here. It's going to be the same exact process as the last one. Where did I lose my flux at? Always losing something. Did I drop it? No, don't think so. Flux, where did I put you? Yeah, did I drop it? What the hell? This feels like half my job is looking for things that I've misplaced. I haven't even like moved and yet I can't find my flux. Make more sense if I move the flux around from one side or into the other. I can find it, but nope, just sitting here and still managed to lose it. It's probably right in front of my face too. Oh, damn, under this board. Wow, okay, there we go. Now we're gonna add some flux. Clean our flux tip here. Alright. Oh, I already cut a piece off. What am I doing? Distracted by the fact that I couldn't find my flux. Alright. Beautiful. Alright, so like we talked about before, we want the side ones not to have too much solder on them, just a tad of solder. That's good enough for all of them. Okay. We will clean up again. Oh, time to take that board. I think that was the last cycle in the ultrasonic, so we'll go ahead and put that in the ISO to get all the water off of it. Be right back. Alright, so I just put that board, just for a quick second, I put that board in the ISO, which is 99% ISO, and then I also, now it's in the oven drying, okay? So I dip in the ISO to get all the water off of it and displaced, and then to kind of introduce the ISO, which evaporates at a very low temperature, right? And then after that, what happens is I put it in the oven and then let that ISO evaporate really quickly. And now what I'm looking for is another donor board that has that connector on it. And there we go. All right. Beautiful, and the connector didn't get melted at all. Awesome. Alright. Same type of thing here. We're going to have it placed in position. And we'll just add a drop of flux over here. Ooh, shit. The flux is hot. That means that was in the way of my air. But that means it comes out super fast if it's warm. And way too much. Gotta be careful of that. Let's just try to drop a piece over here. Alright, awesome. Now, same process as before. We're just going to add a little bit of flux to the connectors. We're going to try to clean this up. I don't want this is like a puddle of flux over here. That's a Rossmann amount of flux. I'm not trying to have a mess on the board after I'm done. Alright, that should be good. Okay. And the same process as before. Just going to kind of hold down to it on the side of it and press down. Heat up that one side, and now you'll see all those are attached. Slide up here, do the same thing. Perfect. Let them all get attached. I think there's still some in the middle that are being difficult. There we go. Come on, guys. Get up in there. Alright, I think that's all of them. Oh, that one wants to be tricky. I think that's the same one that was being a bitch before. Oh, I had a couple of loose ones this time, huh? Perfect. Alright. And now we're going to clean this up. Alrighty. And now we will replace the fuse like we did last time. Alright, pull our donor out. Let's see. No fuse. No fuse. Might have to actually use a new fuse. Nope, there's one. There it goes, that's on there now. And we'll clean up our little bit of flux that we used. Alright, let's get that second to cool while we get our screen out to test it. Alright. Oh, yeah, we need the screen, obviously. That's still a little hot. Before I connect the screen, I'm just going to let that cool down for a second. And while we're waiting for that to cool, let's see what the next one is. That is the one that's the pain in the butt. I could have sworn I was one that said, like, the battery port was bad. Did I miss that one? Battery port damaged. Alright, that was written on the... Yeah, okay, it's not. Just an old note on the bag. Alright. Alright. Okay, so before we actually connect the screen, that should be cool by now. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure that line is not short anymore. We forgot to do that before. So let's see. Make sure we relieved our shorts. And we did, perfect. And our fuse is in check. Good. Now we'll go ahead and connect our screen and power it on, see what happens. Alright, now we're hoping for backlight and image. And there's backlight had kicked on, so now we're just going to wait for the question mark to show up. And then we will move right along to this iPhone 12 Pro Max for data recovery. And there's the question mark. Perfect. All right. So that is a fixed device. All right. Awesome. All right, moving right along to this data recovery. Oh, look at that. They kept it open for me. Perfect. So let's see. I haven't looked at this yet, so I don't know how bad it is. Okay. Looks like they already took the battery out. Awesome. Okay. So let's see. I don't really see anything that jumps out at me. With phones and liquid damage, likely going to be on the inside of the sandwich that we have an issue. But let's go ahead and hook it up to our DC power supply and see what she draws. Alright, so plug this in here, and let's see. Okay, it's about like 10 milliamp before prompt to boot. This is going to be a pain in the ass, I think. And nothing happens when I hit the power button. Wow, okay. This one's gonna suck, I can already tell you that. At that current draw, this sucks. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and disconnect everything. And we will try this test again. and absolutely nothing is happening when you prompt to boot. Nothing at all. So all I'm going to do is disconnect the power button, okay? And, well, the power button looks like it had some... I was thinking some of that foam was in the power button, but really not enough to affect it. So I'm going to plug in the charging port, and I'm going to prompt to boot that way to see if we get any difference out of it. Because normally if you prompt to boot and nothing happens, that either means that the 1V8 line is probably not present, or you're not prompting to boot properly. So it could just be like the power button not working. So let's see. Nada. Not a damn thing. It's like making me think my jig's messed up, honestly. Or not my jig, but my DC power supply cable. Squid may be messing with me. Okay, but I have zero current draw after prompt to boot, which normally means, like I say, either you're not prompting to boot properly, or PMIC may be an issue. Damn, I really don't believe that's that other board just finished in the oven. So we'll take that out in a minute and look at it. Yeah, nothing's happening. Okay, that's just straight dead. That's weird. Let's go ahead and take it out of the housing. And we will split it and see if we see anything ugly, which I'm sure we will. It would help if I took all the screws out. Sitting here like, why isn't this board coming out? There we go. Okay. Don't see anything that's like obviously killing it. All right. Let's go ahead and remove the films like we did on that iPhone 11 yesterday. All right, now we're going to split the board. Right here. So, yesterday you saw me split the board and I just used the bottom heat. But today, and I used a screw to peel it off, but today this is an iPhone 12, right? So, or 12 Pro Max. So, the temperature on the solder points of the sandwich are higher than what we would expect on the older models. So I'm going to bring my hot air temperature down to 371, okay? And I'm going to use it as kind of like to heat the top board as well as the bottom board. It makes it faster to come off. And also I'm going to use my Quanli 007 blade, and I'm just going to kind of stick it in the corners when it's ready, and I'm going to peel up and I'm going to kind of let it fly back, right? Or fall back. So let's go ahead and do that. Pulling away our heat and just checking. Nope, still not ready yet. I wouldn't expect it ready that soon, but I do stop all the time and bring away the hot air to double check. Okay, we're double checking again. Nope, still on there, still solid. Alright, we're checking again. Nope, still tight on there. I'm just circling this heat on top of this board, trying to evenly distribute the heat. Should be any second now that it's ready to break away. I'm making sure my board heater is actually on. Yeah, still nothing. There it goes, it looks like. Yep, there it is. Bam. Just like that. We'll go over there, turn on my board heater, take this off the board heater with the antenna, and get our board heater out of here. Alright, now we gotta let these cool for a minute, but first what we're gonna do is visually inspect while they're hot and see what we see. And we don't see a bunch of anything. I mean, over here, that looks like it's seen better days. And I believe that's the camera circuit. But I don't see any corrosion or anything like that on the top board, at least. And on the bottom, don't see much. Don't see much of anything. So nothing is very obviously wrong with this phone. Which may mean that our damage is going to be under these shields here. So we will have to check that here in a moment. But I don't see anything that's straight up front wrong. Alright, so let that cool a little bit. We'll get this thermal compound out of here. And just kind of running through it again to see if I see anything. No, nothing. Nothing that is like a red flag, I would say. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, that should be cool enough to try to prompt the boot again. Alright, so let's see. Oh shit, look at this. That is why nothing was happening when I was prompting to boot. Wow, look at that. Damn it, I think I only have one of these too. Fuck. I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, that dang it. I don't know if I have another one of these. Jesse, please don't float CPU. I'll try not to, man. You could send me a 12 jig. That'd be great if you could just, you know, deliver it personally. Aha! I have another one. Look at that. That is awesome. Let me throw this one away so I never do that again. Now let's see what we get. Alright, so straight zeros after plugging it in, which is what we'd expect. And yeah, now we're prompting. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we are getting somewhere. Let's see. We're plugging in our screen. And we're going to see if this sucker boots. Now the 12 Pro Max will boot top board only. Now I won't be able to get the data like this because there's a temperature sensor on the bottom of the board that tells the phone that it's not on fire. And whenever the bottom board's not there, it says, hey, your phone is too hot and needs to cool down before you can use it. And that's why people are saying, hey, yeah, I get that message all the time, like, hey, it's saying it's hot, but it's not. I'm like, yeah, it's probably a sandwich issue. All right, so that should be prompting. We get Apple logo, which is good. And now we're gonna hope it kind of boots all the way up to the iOS, and it looks like it's going to because True Tone just turned on, which is good. That's telling me it's gonna boot. And look at that, it's booted. We're gonna be able to get data off this phone. Okay, well, I don't have any temperature sensor though. Look at the screen though. The screen's clearly been pretty liquid damaged. Damn, I can't believe the temperature sensor's not showing up. They're saying it's too hot. Interesting. It is the 12 Pro Max that does that, right? If Jesse's still watching, he'll correct me and be like, actually, that's the 13 Pro Max. No, I'm just kidding. I love Jesse. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put it into the jig. I hate the iPhone 12 jig because it always lies to me. It says baseband doesn't work, Wi-Fi doesn't work, everything's broken on the phone, and is very unreliable, but it will work enough for me to pull data off of it. So, just kind of like yesterday with the jig from the 11, this is the jig for the 12 series. Right, so we'll take these out and take this out and put this on. So this is the 12 Pro Max right here. Put the top board on. Now I'm going to do this with the antenna, but you see if I fold the antenna up like this, okay, and then I can put the jig on, I might have to use my tweezers to kind of tuck it in, just like that. See? Just enough room for the antenna there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try to prompt to boot again without the screen, see if we have an issue with our bottom board. We may, but even if we do, we're just going to grab another bottom board and attach it. NFC's on the bottom board, but we can still, we can either move that or do the swipe to data recovery screen. And if we prompt to boots, let's see what happens. All right, prompt. We're getting somewhere, still not prompting all the way. And there's the prompt all the way. Okay, perfect. So what I was waiting there on my DC power supply is for it to jump to about 300 to 400 milliamps. That tells me that, that it's prompting. So now what we need to do is take this, I believe this is turn back on light. This is a 12 Pro Max of the charging port I need. For sure, I think that's it. So we're gonna put that over here. We're going to need the battery so it doesn't restart on us while we're pulling the data. Put that there. We're going to need the screen. Where did I set that screen down at? Oh, screen, where did I put you? See, it's like a pattern with me. Here it is. Where I just put things down. I don't pay attention to where I put them, and then I lose things. So I'm going to go grab a computer to back this stuff up on. I use my wife's laptop because she's got a terabyte storage, so I'm going to go grab her laptop. Okay, so I also have a laptop with terabyte storage, but that's my gaming computer, and I don't want to use up my game space for people's data. I'd rather have my wife's computer have no free space. She doesn't game anyway. Or at least if she games on the PS5. Okay, so now we have the computer up and running. We are going to plug in the screen. We're also going to try to make sure that where we're working on or pulling the data is not in the way of like the rest of the things I need to do my job. That way that I'm not just sitting here waiting for this recovery backup to complete for me to continue my job. So we've got the screen attached and we have the battery attached. Come on, battery, plug in. Plug-in battery, there we go. Okay, now we're gonna need this iPhone cable to plug this into the computer. There we go. All right, so that should be starting to back up now. So let me go grab that other MacBook that we had in the oven and see if what's going on with that one. Like I said, I think I may just have to replace that cap, if that even. Likely just cleaning that board helped. I mean, you saw the way it was. Oh damn, let me get the password for this phone. I will not be sharing my screen this time so you guys can't see the customer's data. We still have the swipe up to recover screen, so we're gonna have to wait for that to go through. That's probably the jig messing up, to be honest with you guys. Okay, so now you're just kind of looking at my chin. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab that MacBook. I think I'm gonna have to change my water in my ultrasonic cleaner, to be honest with you. That looks kind of gross. Okay, so now I'm gonna check this cap, see if it's shorted out. Like I said, I think all it needed really was a cleaning, which it really didn't get, because now it still looks fucking gross. All right, this one's gonna have to be re-cleaned for sure. I don't like the way that looks. Okay, so what we're gonna do is hook up the fan. Bam. Let's see what else I need. The I/O board. And where's the ribbon? Right here. Okay, now we're just gonna plug it in and see if we get fan spin. And we do, we get fan spin. So see, all it needed was a cleaning. Probably something I shouldn't really brag about. You guys will start cleaning boards before you send them. And that always makes it harder to diagnose, actually, if you clean them before you send them, because then I'm just looking at what looks like a clean board and I have no idea where it got wet at. Now I'm gonna use this thermal paste. I get it from Tim Herman Jr. He makes his own thermal paste, and I've been nothing but impressed with it. It's been great. That's new. There we go. That's way too much. Take some of that off. Okay. Come on. Yeah, that was way too much thermal compound I put on there. Oh well. It will be okay. Alright. Alright, so now what we're going to do is just like we did with the other ones, we are going to connect all this up and connect a screen. Okay, trying to make it so you guys can see it. Oh, damn it. All right, that's good enough. So let's see what we get. Fan spin, all right. And now again, we're just waiting for the question mark. Ah, there's Apple logo, and then question mark right after, I'm sure. This one has the new firmware on it where it shows Apple logo no matter what. Or it's seeing a solid state drive that's not there. It's like a wireless solid state drive. And there we go, the question mark. Perfect. So all these devices have been fixed except that one that looked like it had been vomited all over it. That one I'll have to go back to later. That's going to take me a few hours to get that one fully up and running. That one is going to be a lot of work, I can promise you that. Where did I put the baggie for this one? Right here. Micro, get back. You know you're not allowed in here. All right. So, and my long guy's here. Okay, so I probably have to go talk to him in a minute. So that's all I hope he doesn't break my window. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment. Let me know you liked it. I'll try to continue with these live streams, as they do not take up as much time as just making a video. I don't have to do any editing. I'm just able to kind of go live and just go through the repairs as I work on them. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. This data recovery is 9 out of 10 is going to work fine. I think probably the only real issue with it was my squid was broken. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed.